always room for improvement, room for learning. I think it was definitely, we could have maybe changed the finish a little bit or tried something a little bit more if I had Tanner with me, pushing me behind, but I know he had a problem, so that kind of sucked. But I think there wasn't much we could do in our situation. But I think at Talladega, I'm still going to kind of go over everything, try to learn as much as I can from this race, and I'm always going to learn something new. Every single race I race, I learn something new.
Thanks. Go to Matt. Right next to you, Matt.
Matt Weaver, Auto Week. A couple for you. Just the progression of you learning how to pack race and draft throughout this race. There were some challenges early. You're told not to push on the tri-oval. There's the incident off of turn 4, and then the decision making in the end, how hard you try to push. What was that experience like learning throughout the race?
I think it was constantly, there was moments where I was like, God, I shouldn't have done that. And then all of a sudden moments where it's like, okay, that's good. And so I think at the level we're at, people have to keep in mind that we're ARCA racing. We're not Cup racing. We're not Xfinity racing. Most of the people here are here to learn and to eventually get to that level. So you have to kind of work out the kinks at this level. And so I think I learned a lot of good takeaways from this race. But some things that I should have done, some things that I could have tried and been more aggressive on. But I think everything that I did during this race got us that second place finish.
And a follow up on what you were talking about earlier, trying to avoid the grudges that were held against you, some of the conflicts. What went into that? Were you told maybe you should do that, or was that kind of internal?
That was a self-inflicted kind of. It bit me more races than it should have, than I thought it should have. So definitely, this season is kind of keeping everyone on good terms. Let's all help each other and get some good finishes.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Go to Jim.
Jim Hutter, motorsport.com. Given the test you had in January, the test and the race that you did at the 24 hours, and even the practice down here, was there anything that really got you ready from actually being in the race? How much different was it from all the steps that you had leading up to it?
I think the biggest thing that helped was practice yesterday. Being in that kind of 6-7 car draft that we had, and me being able to run up on people, feel how the runs were, feel how our car settled. That was the biggest learning thing I had. Obviously, it was good on the simulator to get comfortable. It's more a comfort thing of your visualizations of what you see around, your perspective of everything. That helps with the simulator wise, but I think just the practice was the biggest help for me.
Go back to Chris.
Hailie, were you content to hunker down in second, knowing that if you probably try to make a move, that Drew Dollar were to come in there and knock you out of a chance because he's a veteran motorsports teammate? So was your goal just to hang out there because you knew if Thad could have got to you, you and Thad could have worked together, but he was too far back?
I mean, if Thad would have got to me, it would have been a little different story. I think we would have been a little more risky, but knowing that Drew was behind me, I knew he was obviously going to help out Michael. So I couldn't really make any crazy moves, nor was I really going to. I was like, hey, just come down on the bottom on the start, and I promise I'll let you win.
Come up front, Sweet.
SpencerRacingBoys.com. Just curious, David Gillen was pretty sporty back in the day. Did he give you any advice, and what did he say to you after finishing second?
Yeah, on the radio, he was on there during the race saying stuff that I could do better, stuff that I was doing good. He said I was really good, doing good on the restarts, which is something that I don't have a bunch of bigger track restarts downs because they are a little bit faster. The gearing's a little bit different, so you have to kind of work through those things, but after kind of getting comfortable through them, David, definitely he was motivating. He's always super positive. That's the nice thing about David. He's super upbeat, always hyping you up, always making sure your positivity is up there.
Go to Deb.
Hey Hailie, Deb Williams, RacingToday.com. Lee mentioned about David Gillen, but with you now being in the Ford driver development program and all the access you have there, were there any of the Ford Cup drivers or Xfinity Truck that gave you some suggestions?
I mean, I've been asking a lot of the IMSA teammates, especially Chase and Austin Cindric. They've been helping me a lot. I've just been kind of picking their brain on everything. But I think that knowing David's race before the Cup Series, he has all the knowledge pretty much everyone else has. So it's easier to talk to David. I'm really comfortable around David. So it's easier to get information out of him and have him. And he wants to help. He really wants to help because I'm racing for him.
Go to Dustin.
Dustin Long, NBC Sports. Hailie, obviously a great finish tonight, but a lot of the tracks you're going to run on moving forward are going to be completely different. So other than feeling good right now, what do you take out? Or does the whole notion of feeling good after the first race a big enough thing to move forward with?
Yeah, I think having a good first race, not getting any wrecks, not anything that was really negative, it's definitely gonna, I feel like, keep the season upbeat. I feel like the first race kind of sets the tone for the season. And having a good first race is definitely gonna help keep the ball rolling. It always motivates the guys in the shop to work hard, put all their effort in, and for me to work hard. When you're all on a nice, positive, high level, you kind of just bounce off each other, your work ethic. And so I think it's definitely just gonna help the rest of the year.
We have any additional questions for Hailie? We'll go back to Dustin.
One other thing, obviously, you've been under the spotlight for so long, it's second nature, but obviously a lot of female or even female drivers look to you as kind of the next best hope to kind of break through the ceiling and have great success. I know you've got other things to worry about, but just the notion of being an 18-year-old and other women looking toward you to kind of be a pioneer in a sense, what does that mean?
Yeah, that's always cool having little girls come up to me and say, I want to be a race car driver one day. Those are always things that motivate you even more because you know what you're doing is right and your progression and everything, all the work you're putting in is worth something. And especially going back to the off-road track, off-road races, my old car that I won the championship and a little girl bought, so always going there like, I don't have to help her, but either way going to the track, I always go up to her, try to give her some information. I'll even get on the radio with her. Just little things that kind of help the sport, bring the sport to a higher level.
Godwin Kelly News Journal. Can you talk about your close calls tonight? Did you have any like really airy moments out there?
Yeah, definitely had a few. There's some things that I got a little. It's hard though because I'm learning everything, so I am gonna make mistakes. I am gonna get a little aggressive sometimes when you're trying to make up positions. You're trying to run up on people, get good runs off corners, and sometimes the cars get lighter than they should, and it gets a little sketchy. And you're reacting to what someone else does, but also people are reacting to what you're doing. So constantly there's a domino effect. There are definitely some good takeaways and things that I'm gonna kind of leave behind out of this race. So but it's a good one.
Okay, and what's your next stop from here? What do you do from here now that you finished second at Daytona?
Yeah, I think it's just get ready for the next race, kind of start over, re-baseline. I think the next race is Phoenix, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Phoenix. And so I'm definitely going to be on the sim a lot, watching footage, going over everything I need to for there. I have raced at Phoenix before, so I have an idea of it in the K&N car. I love Phoenix though. Phoenix is going to be a fun race. We have a new title sponsor for the car there, so it's I definitely want to have a good run there.
We go back to Chris.
Hey Hailie, who was your spotter tonight, and how much did he help you, and will you utilize him all year?
Yeah, so Eric Holmes spots me. He's won a few championships on the K&N West Side. He spotted me last year. He spotted for Todd in the trucks for a little bit. He spotted for Stuart Friesen. So he spotted quite a bit of the Super Speedway stuff, so he understands it, and he gives me a lot of information, which is something that I love. I need a lot of information during the race. I like having someone talking a lot. If not, I'll key up and be like, hello, are you guys there? And so he definitely does everything that I need him to.
Anything final for Hailie?
Right here.
Come on over here.
Hailie Hill over to WNDB Radio. If Tanner, your teammate, hadn't fallen out there, did you guys maybe have a plan afoot to hook up and draft and try to work your way to the lead?
Yeah, for sure. I think that if he would have stayed in the game, or if even Thad was right there behind me, it could have changed some of the results. But definitely where I'm at, I'm happy with, but it could have diced it up a little bit having a teammate with me.
Otherwise, just too difficult by yourself.
Yeah, you can't make moves by yourself. That's the hard thing, especially with another Venturini car being behind me. I knew it wasn't going to work in my favor.
Anything else? All right, Hailie, congratulations on a great race. Good luck in Phoenix.